quarterbacks become too much for the Cleveland Browns to handle, they call me in. I am the Dog Pound Whisperer. When I arrived at Browns camp, there were several behaviors that I had to correct, but always with positive energy. And a quick touch? No, you make the correction. No, not the bathroom. No, the plumbing. No.
Ugh, playbooks suck. First, we take a selfie.
No, we do the playbook, not the Instagram. We are a quarterback, not the 15-year-old girl.
Definitely never been more focused in my entire life. I'm going to Vegas! Get it!
No, now here comes submissive. Now we can watch the box score, which starts right now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Collins for box score.
Hello, welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, joined by the Danettes, who are in the New York City Man Cave. You were there, of course, to welcome the Heisman winner, Marcus Mariota. You guys have had the last three winners in the New York City Man Cave. Seton, have you ever had a chance to pick up that Heisman trophy?
Actually, we've had the Heisman winner in the last 3 seasons, yeah, and this might be the first year that I've actually tried to pick up the Heisman. Maybe after I'm finally comfortable enough around it to be like, hey, let me see that thing. I want to try and pick it up. Because usually I'm like, whoa, I'm not touching that. I'm not even remotely worthy, nor do I want to be the moron that drops it. So, yeah, this year I was definitely comfortable.
I grabbed it by the arm and started to pick it up, and it felt a lot heavier than I was comfortable trying to pick it up. And I, too, didn't want to somehow drop it or break the thing or scratch it in any way. So once I got a feel for it, and I felt that even though I knew ultimately I can pick it up, I didn't want to end up dropping it and destroying right in front of Marcus Mariota and the whole Heisman PR team that was with him and just totally screw up the whole thing.
Yeah, not me. I don't pick up any award that I didn't win myself.
Nice.
And actually, I never thought to pick it up. I should have done that.
Yeah, it's it was a lot heavier than I remembered it. It's been a long time. One time when we worked back at ESPN, before I worked with Dan, we were doing a Heisman show in New York City, and we needed to bring down a Heisman. And myself and a guy named Darren Smith, who is Dan's producer, had to meet a guy on the side of the road on I-95, I think near Milford, close to where Dan lives, and had to meet him. And he had the box with the Heisman in it, and he drove down to meet us halfway. And so he gave us the Heisman box. We opened it, and he's like, "Oh, you don't have to take the whole box, 'cause the box was monstrous." And he goes, "No, they wanted us to take just the trophy." I'm like, "No, we're going to keep it in the box and find a way to jam it in the back of this car."
Not to top you, by the way, Paulie, I've gotten Heisman many times in this service. So
Many more Heismans than me.
Never on the side of I-95 that I recall.
That was
would
pretty
be
neat.
weird, though.
DP tried to get a feel for what it was like to be on the line with the Oregon quarterback, and Mariota gave him a look at how he runs that fast-paced offense.
Call something, we signal stuff in. So
you don't yell anything?
I don't say anything.
You don't say anything? you just signal?
Didn't you play high school quarterback? What did you say?
I just said, follow me. I'll lead you. So wait, you don't yell at anything?
No, not really. Unless I have to make a change.
Okay, but make a change here. Work with me. You ready? Let's go. Line of scrimmage. Ready?
What do you want me to say?
You're changing the play.
Changing the play?
Yeah.
I just say easy. That's about it.
Wait, is that how you say it? I can't hear you.
That's why I go up to the guys in the front. I don't stand 5 yards behind them.
You want me to play the role of you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Easy! See how it works?
It's fascinating because Mariota could be a Hall of Famer or a bust. None of us know. But the fact that he doesn't take snaps from under center, he doesn't huddle, he doesn't do verbal audibles to his teammates, and is quiet and shy. It's like the opposite of everything an NFL quarterback is. And arm strength and everything, he seems fantastic. Nobody knows. But we usually get guys who are shy, but once the light goes on, they play ball. And this kid is just truly shy.
Well, yeah, but as far as not taking, Johnny had the same off.
What I'm saying is I think NFL quarterbacks do everything this guy doesn't, and vice versa.
He had the temperament of like a librarian or a security guard or someone that's sitting quietly in their cubicle at work, not trying to make any waves.
It reminds me of you, Fritz.
Very similar.
What do you think is a bigger issue?
It's just very surprising it was that quiet.
What do you think is a bigger issue for him? The fact that he doesn't seem outgoing, which seems important for a quarterback, or the fact that he's coming from Oregon, where lately the trend is nobody's made it out of that spread option. Just these Kaepernick's down, RG3's down, Cam Newton's down.
I think he's going to be in trouble when he's in front of a big media corps and they're going after him. And because he is a smart kid, but smart and handling a crowd like this is two different things. Remember Zach Greinke, the pitcher for the Dodgers, Royals? He didn't want to do interviews. You don't have to do interviews when you're just a fifth, third starter on the Dodgers. But when you're the quarterback of a team, there's no way around it.
Heisman Trophy winner. He's going to go super high in the draft, obviously, and then he's going to struggle next year wherever he goes.
Sure.
Right. So all of that. I mean, if you look at how, say, like Ryan Leaf handled himself. Okay, now that's an extreme example, but there are certain people you have to get in front of the media, and he's going to take criticism next year. And I mean, maybe this, in a weird way, maybe this helps him, that he's just like, he can maybe...
Yeah, maybe that's the approach to take. He's not, first of all, I don't think people are going to want to criticize him because he's so darn nice.
I don't have a problem with the way he handles the media. I have a problem with that he's like never actually played quarterback before, in a weird way. Like he doesn't do anything that quarterbacks do. So
he's played Oregon
quarterback
before.
Who does that work? Like who does that fit with in the NFL?
Well, RG3 had one good year, so I don't. You know what? The funny thing is, everyone says like, well, why didn't you bring a college coach to the NFL to do the same thing? I guess it's the NFL.
How come no one ever declares anybody a bust, McLovin? How come guys like you never take a shot? Like once in a while you hear like Merrill Hodge, who's got some guts, say like Johnny Manziel is a 6th-round talent, and he's on an island all himself. You're not going to hear. I don't think anyone say Mariota is not going to be a good football player.
No. Kuiper came out and said if you draft Marcus Mariota, you're gonna have to wait 5 years. He said something like that. Basically, the media is after Mariota because everyone's down on the spread option the read option right now. So they're basically saying it's all trends. Like if Kaepernick was doing well right now, they'd be like Mariota's awesome. But since Kaepernick is struggling, everyone's like Mariota is.
And then also if you struggle with that demeanor, like Eli Manning gets ripped for it, and look, if you're not showing that fiery passion and screaming and yelling, if you're not performing, they overlook it if you're doing great. But once you're struggling and you're too quiet, then you get that.
Eli is like Chris Mannix compared to Marcus Mariota.
Eli's like Rodney Dangerfield compared to Marcus Mariota, but
Eli's like he's quiet.
Yeah.
Speaking of comedy, McLovin, you tried to give Mariota some tips on being a pro quarterback. Let's watch how that all went down.
So, Marcus, you want to get under here. This is
what are you teaching him?
How to take a snap from under center, because you're not used to this, obviously, maybe high school. You want to get to know the guy, but not too intimately. Like, I know he's circumcised. I happen to know that, but I don't want to find that out. Do anything. Okay. Then you command the line here. You go, hut, 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 hut. Okay. Now you're going to go back. 5 steps. And now watch this. I turn my neck because I'm going to my 2nd and 3rd read. Now, you might not know a lot of that progression. So you want to be on your feet because, I'm really slow, so I've never learned to run.
Would you like to try that?
I'm good.
Oh, you are.
That was interesting. I was trying to see what Marcus's facial expressions were looking like, but I'm too busy bending down and making sure I'm snapping the ball to McLovin. But I'm sure Marcus found that very, very amusing. Here's a Heisman Trophy winner coming into the studio here and watching a couple of Danettes trying to show tips on how to snap a ball and how to go back to pass.
And the last time you did that, there was a doctor in rubber gloves involved.
Yes, there was.
That was kind of weird.
Thankfully, everything came back okay.
That was kind of weird. You bent down with about 1:30 before the break, and you just stayed down. And we kept saying, Todd, there's another minute. And did you not hear us?
But once he goes down there, he might not be able to get back up. And once he gets back up,
it takes way too much effort to go back up, then back down, then back up.
That's the whole gravity. That's all.
Like an 18-wheeler going uphill.
It's locked in. Long way up. I figured it'd be easy just to stay there.
Yeah, get some traction there. Paulie, wall space is pretty limited back in Milford. Has Dan discussed where he's going to put this Mariota jersey?
Well, to be honest, he was looking at putting it here, which I told him was a horrendous idea because we're not here all the time. Things disappear all over the place. It's just fascinating how that happens. So I said, in all seriousness, let's bring it back to Milford because then there's so much stuff up there, it'll just get kind of lost in the shuffle here. It'll end up on Canal Street being sold for $99.95.
Hey, McLovin, Shea called you out today for blocking him on Twitter. You quickly, of course, unblocked him and tweeted this out. Hey, buddy, sorry about blocking you. You're a valued part of the DP show. Consider yourself unblocked. Now, Seton, you are actually still blocked by McLovin. Am I correct? And how's that make you feel?
I think so. I think I'm still blocked by him.
No, I don't think so. Because the other day I got a note on my phone. Seton, hi, my name is Seton, is now following you.
Oh, you must have unblocked me.
I unblocked you, then you blocked me. And then I got a note. By the way, right after I sent that note to Shea, I blocked him like 5 minutes later.
That's great.
I smell fear when I see that. When I see that thing, I think there's like 5% of fear, and I want to keep this guy on our side.
Well, okay. Now, there's a real story here, though, in that how much do we really know about Shea? And the things that we do know about him are not good.
He hasn't lived
So
in
I
Irving.
understand Andrew's fear. All of a sudden, he was Shea in St. Paul for like 6 months.
Now it's
What the hell
Chicago,
is that all
maybe.
about?
It might be Chicago.
Yeah, I was on a huge blocking kick like 3 months ago, and I blocked anybody said anything negative about me. You said something negative, blocked them immediately.
Yeah.
You're down to no followers.
Now I'm on a huge unblocking segment because I think I can write a book with the hate mail I get on a daily basis. It's unbelievable. And by the way, SoCal Brock, consider yourself blocked, my friend.
Whoa.
Wow.
Done
SoCal Brock.
and done. Okay, come on back. On the other side of the break, DP gets some great stories out of moderately rich Warren Buffett.
I only met Michael Jordan many years ago. He came to Omaha and he refereed a game between the politicians and the newsmen. And then when the politicians fell behind, he started playing in the game as well and calling technicals on the other guys. He was a lot of fun. Michael was terrific.
Welcome back to the Box Score. Great story there by Warren Buffett, talking about how Michael Jordan shockingly took over a game between the newsmen and the politicians. Paul, you're a Chi-Town fan. How much would you have paid for a front row ticket for that exhibition?
That would have been pretty good. Michael's the most competitive human being on earth, and Warren Buffett's probably the same way, but that would have been fantastic. I was thinking about it. We've had Warren Buffett on probably 3 times in the past year, or less than a year now, I think. And we got him in Fritzy called. We got him right on. And I think he really enjoys it. I think it's like 10 minutes of his life where he could not talk business, except for a bunch of novices asking about business. But I also think like 10 years from now, if he's gone, we're going to joke about this, but it's like having Howard Hughes on the show. Or he's one of the most famous financial people on earth, and by far in America. And we'll have had him on probably half a dozen times by then.
Well, the great stories from Buffett didn't stop there. He had another classic when the boss asked him about his initial meeting with Ndamukong Suh.
Tom Osborne suggested that we get together. There was one game against Oklahoma some years ago at Nebraska where I was the coach for 1 quarter. So I just met him very, very briefly then. But then, I don't know, a couple of years ago, Tom thought that Ndamukong and I ought to get together. We got together. We really liked each other. And despite the fact that I beat him in an arm wrestling contest, we're nevertheless good friends.
I need videotape of that.
He wasn't fully prepared for me then. He didn't realize what he was up against.
That would have been something to see, an arm wrestling match between Ndamukong Suh and Warren Buffett. But it sounds really cool that, they just, they meet up with each other and they become, not best buddies, but they're like pals right away. And then Dan, towards the end of the interview, I believe Warren challenged Dan to an arm wrestling match. And he said, if you need me in the future, just give me a buzz to do some arm wrestling. But just as Paulie was saying before, he's just got such a bubbly, fun personality. He's loving life, which, you could say, oh, what billionaire wouldn't be loving life? But he's going around and he's excited about meeting Ndamukong Suh and going tonight to see LeBron James play.
I kind of thought maybe he might have somebody writing his material because he threw out the arm wrestling joke, then he landed the plane on the arm wrestling joke. It felt a little
Do you think he's got like Jeffrey Ross on speed dial?
I think,
like on one ear, in his ear, like an IFB?
Bruce
Well,
maybe.
an interesting thing too is that he did the same. People are going to confuse me for LeBron twice in that.
Yes,
in
it's
that
almost like
segment,
he's almost got like a paper full of jokes.
Here's a couple of things.
I mean,
Make sure you work those in.
He's got a lot of minions, a lot of manservants.
Yeah,
that they're
but it
writing.
is weird that Warren Buffett, the richest man in the country or whatever, is trying out material on the Dan Patrick Show.
I feel like he does stand-up. He does open mic nights.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you, McLovin, besides that, what would be the one question you would ask Warren Buffett if you had a one-on-one with him?
If I had a one-on-one, I would show him my financial statement and say, where to, Warren? Where am I going to invest this $1,478?
I would have a very similar question for Warren. To be, and I was reading some stuff about how back then he was like barely a teenager and he was able to understand stocks and all kinds of business things and was like just making all kinds of money at a very young age. And I would be fascinated to see what he can do with various amounts of money or the kind of money that normal people, deal with and how he can, make that 10, 20, 50 fold in a short period of time.
I would ask him why we drive on the parkway and park in the driveway.
Ooh, you got me there. I would probably ask him if he could be a co-signer just on everything for me from now on. No, I would ask him if he thinks he was destined for this. if he thinks he was just born into, like, somebody throws a baseball 100 miles an hour, you can't develop that. I'm curious if at age 15 or age 5, he was already thinking about consolidating all the lemonade stands in all the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Mark Cuban says this is the only thing he was meant to do, and I think a guy like Warren Buffett, there's nothing else he could have done. Also, I'd ask him his biggest failure, financially or otherwise.
I knew this kid growing up who, by like 12 years old, he had like a bunch of other kids in the neighborhood cutting lawns for him, and like he was the guy who was getting it, and then his buddies were the ones out doing the lawn, and he'd give them a cut and whatever. And he was also going around. I thought this was like genius. He would go around and pick up lawnmowers that are left on the side of the road. You know, like you have an old junky lawnmower. He would grab all of those and sell them for parts on eBay.
Wow.
So he would, you know, like somebody's lawnmower goes down, like, oh, I just need this one little thing, and the kid made, I mean, a fortune for a 12-year-old. You know, I mean, he made, like, I think, like 20 grand or something.
Where's this guy now?
I don't know. It's a good question. I have no idea.
Probably jail.
We had a kid in my neighborhood who was an entrepreneur. He used to sneak into your house and steal stuff from your basement.
Nice.
Yeah.
And he'd go through the basement, like the storm doors and stuff like that.
We had a guy.
And he'd steal stuff, like he'd steal toys from other kids. I'm not kidding. And then you'd go over to his house and you'd see your own toys on his shelf. But he and his brothers were so scary. And I mean, he had like 7 brothers, and they were so scary that you wouldn't complain that he stole your stuff. That's how scary they was.
Seton, I don't know if you know this, but that guy grew up to make the movie Sling Blade, as he still works on lawnmowers. Stick around, the guys battle for the championship belt after this. We are back here on the Box Score. If you were out this weekend, you were probably shopping for gifts, getting your house ready for the holidays. So you probably missed what was going on in the world of sports and entertainment. How about the guys get you caught up as they grab their weaponry and prepare for this week's edition of
Mark Headline Battle Royale.
Our first headline, it is Marcus Mariota becomes first Oregon player to win the Heisman Trophy. Paulie, you're up first.
Oh, lucked out there. Oregon. No doubt Mariota goes to the NFL.
Oh, dear.
Oregon.
Oregon. Seton, what do you have? There's the boots.
All right, well, you might as well see Paul Papp's one. This is my first of many mailed-in headlines. Oregon. Mariota giving 4th football year the Heisman.
Fritzy.
Same one, you got applause.
Duck it, Melvin and Amari. I'm the best from the Pacific Northwest.
Duck it.
Very rhyming. McLovin.
Should have been duck you.
Like, suck it, duck it.
Marcus the Aurelius. Mariota helps Oregon build empire in the Pacific Northwest.
Wow. Deep, yeah.
Unleash hell.
Speak the truth.
Second headline. Kobe Bryant surpasses Michael Jordan on NBA's all-time scoring list. Seton, take it away.
All right, I'm going back to my hip-hop roots on this one. Kobe thrice, real game, no critics.
Ooh.
Kobe Trice.
Paulie, can you top that?
I cannot. Unfair, Jordan. MJ scored more in less games, Kobe. Unfair, Jordan.
Unfair, Jordan.
Boo. Clearly.
I should have nicked over that.
I think the sound guy's a Lakers guy. McLovin.
Michael Jordan overrated? Question mark.
Love it.
Fritzy.
Got to be like Kobe? No bull, Bryant passes MJ.
Angry. Now for headline number 3. Johnny Manziel gets shut out in first start versus the Bengals. McLovin, what do you have?
Johnny foot fault? Question mark. Maybe tennis is the sport for Manziel after rough opening start.
All a long way, but that's good.
Faulty love. Faulty love. Fritzy.
Johnny on the brown spot. Manziel leaves hot mess in Cleveland.
Seton.
Called it poo. I love that word. Johnny Schmutzball, rookie humbled, has egg on face. Little schmutz.
Right there.
Schmutz. And Paulie.
Johnny Manziel doesn't score on the field.
Our
I'll give
fourth
it to
and
you.
final headline. Peyton Manning fights off the flu as the Broncos clinch AFC West title with win over the San Diego Superchargers. Fritzy, it's all yours, Big Daddy.
Playoff fever. Never too sick for another AFC West title.
McLovin.
Raucous.
This is an homage to Bobby Hurley. Orange blush. Manning embarrassed after running back on the field without pants after a bathroom break. Did that happen?
Paulie.
Since this is Fritzy's guy and this is a pure Fritzy move, I'm going to give you two headlines when you just asked for one.
Whoa.
Flew to man. Peyton spends second quarter into Papa John. Or throwing up is not much fun.
All right. All pass, rebounding.
Seton, can you
Sounds
wrap it
similar
up
to
for
that.
us?
Plus.
Super Bowl IV. Peyton puts on clinic, gives Chargers a shot.
Right there.
Whoa, that was a little
Smash
surf
and
and
applause.
turf there.
Roman numeral.
The winner of this week's mock headline championship poinsettia will be brought out by Sideshow Bob is McLovin.
Well done, Andrew. Well done, Andrew.
Where's the sideshow character?
All right,
Flowers.
slide.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Don't touch my hair.
Now it's a mess.
Hey guys, I'm back here.
Coming up next, we are entering the stretch run of the Football Night Challenge, and we're going to reveal what we're all battling for. Stay tuned. There he is. It's coming down. Welcome back to the Box Score. It's coming down to the wire. We've been going at this all season, but in just 1 week, a winner shall be crowned. Let's see who's getting closest to the prize in.
The Danet Football Night in America Challenge.
Well, here it is, the prize you've all been battling for. Oh, okay. Yes, it's the McLovin Muscle Man Corkscrew. Take it in with all its glory. We'll dress it up box score style, of course. Fritzy, you don't drink. Do you have any use for this?
Not really, but it's quite an interesting, unique item.
It looks like oats from Hall & Oates.
It does look actually
So
like,
maybe Fritzy would be
John
interested in
So
it.
just to clarify, Broccoli, we've been doing this for every week for about 15 weeks for a $7 corkscrew that you got on eBay?
Yes, exactly, but I think there will be more attached to it. I'm not sure. I'll just trust the producers are going to do
Looks
something
like there's more
great.
attached to it.
All right. This week we asked you who would throw for more yards. Would it be Tony Romo or Mark Sanchez? We all went with Tony Romo, no surprise there. And of course, we also had an additional point for closest to the hole, and that was you, Seton. You went with 260 yards, and he ended up throwing for 265 yards, 13 more than Sanchez. And the Cowboys took it home. So that's another big week for you, Seton. What do you say? Is this corkscrew going to be all yours?
I hope so. I'm really making a late run here. I started off really slow, but the last couple of weeks I've come back in a pretty big way. So, good Lord willing, I can continue the streak.
Well, it may just be your corkscrew. Our leaderboard after week 15 looks like this. I'm holding a slim lead over Seton, 11-10. Paulie is in third with 9. McLovin has 8, and of course, Fritzy is bringing up the rear with 6 points and maybe mathematically eliminated. I'm not sure. Paul, you've been big on strategy during the competition. How are you going to approach this stretch run?
Usually at the late stages of any contest, I resort to cheating. And it might be too late for that, but I'll see if I can come up with something.
All right, well, here's Daryl Hall asking you, Fritzy, who's on tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Reggie Miller will join us, Larry Fitzgerald, and Clippers big man DeAndre Jordan, all part of the Tuesday edition of the Dan Patrick Show.
Very well done. Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you for watching the Box Score. Catch us here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern right here on the Audience, Channel 239. If you're on the go, you can catch the podcast available on iTunes or at podcastone.com. To McLovin, the Muscle Man.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees. Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the Box Score. Holy cow!